Dude, I saw you guys at the Metro. The crowd resembled a riot way more than a show.
Dude, everyone's like beating the shit out of each other. Like, should I be scared? Should I be afraid? But I'm like into it.
Yeah.
People were in danger. I love a violent pit. I used to see people getting knocked out.
Do you worry about injury?
Yes, no, I do.
People know what they're getting into.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what are you doing with these 7 strings that's causing so much mayhem?
It's like cool.
Dude, I have been looking forward to this for some time.
Yeah.
This is Isaac Hale from Knock Loose. And you guys have a reputation of having the rowdiest crowds ever.
I like that reputation.
Definitely the rowdiest crowds that I've ever seen.
I mean, that's what we try to do. We try to get the crowd. We try to get the crowd involved. We're trying to create the most active experience.
Yeah. Well. Some of the footage from your shows, it looks like just a big fight.
Yeah. It's not. It's not. Maybe one real
There's
fight
occasionally real
in.
fights.
Yeah.
That
Live, it's literally about the relationship between us and the crowd. It's like, put your hands up, or wall of deaths, or circle pits.
Yeah, the wall of death is the standard with you
Yeah,
guys.
huge.
So like the first time I saw you guys live, it was like, I came there to see you guys, and then I spent so much of it just looking at what was going on in the crowd, because it was kind of unbelievable.
Yeah, we want people to be shocked.
Yeah.
But a lot of these kids like that are coming to these shows are coming to it from, they saw Counting Worms on TikTok. They haven't been to a heavy show before. And then you got me and Brian's ass yelling at them like, we grew up with no barricade shows.
Yep.
Stage diving, the lack of difference between us and the crowd. We're no different.
We're all
than
here to
people.
have a rowdy.
We're out here to have a
good
rowdy time. We're
Yeah.
just providing the soundtrack.
What tuning are you guys in?
A standard. We used to do drop G, drop it down, but there's a lot of gross things that you can do in standard that you can't even do in drop, which I really, really like. The 4th instead of the 5th is like cool.
I thought you guys played drop.
No, see, a lot of people assume that that's how it is, but it's not. Now, we're trying to create something that in the studio just makes us like kind of laugh.
Oh, really?
Like, well, I know you write a lot of heavy riffs. Have you ever written a riff where you're just like, man, this is ridiculous?
Yes.
Like, this is stupid?
Yeah.
We try to chase that.
That stupid feeling.
And not just the riffs, but also the guitar tones and all that. Like, it's not till we're laughing that we're like, okay, we'll put it in the song.
That's amazing. I wouldn't think that you would say that.
We take our art very seriously, and obviously the aesthetics of the record and everything are very serious, but when it comes down to writing, if we're not having fun with it and like, oh my God, I can't believe that we're doing this, it's like, what's the point? We have so many different layers when we record guitars. And we basically end up with this thing that we like to call like the hell layer or the like nothing layer. Like literally like what does that sound like? It's just like texture at that point. Like we'll record layers that are like more standard and like a little bit dumbed down. But then live and stuff, when we're playing these parts that are like super slamming and stuff, we will turn everything on. Normal drive, and we got a fuzz drive, and we got an octave, and we got a chorus, and we got a pitchfork. So it's like the whole thing, right?
Yeah, that's a very Knock Loose thing too.
Yeah. For everyone at home, the da-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah.
So that's just 2 notes that are right next to each other.
Yeah, just a half step.
I can't believe you guys don't do drop.
It's grosser that way.
It's disgusting.
The first time I did A standard and played it when I was a kid was Korn. Korn plays in literally the same tuning. And I think about it like I'm playing a 6-string just with an added A on top, like I'm in standard. But then I got the low A too. There you go.
Almost like the root note is like kind of ambiguous.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like a percussion instrument.
That's what I'm saying. It's about the like pick scrape, and it's about the saturation. It's less even about the notes.
Why does that sound like Knock Loose?
Oh.
I already want to fight people, Isaac.
It's a ton of drive.
It's just a ton of drive?
And you can be creative with how you do that. Random overdrive pedals, that's what we started doing. And then we started moving to like max on gain pedals, like ODs, like stuff that Cannibal Corpse uses. And then we found this pedal. This is huge, the Swollen Pickle by Way Huge.
Dude, I've used the Swollen Pickle.
The Swollen Pickle by Way Huge was like a fuzz pedal that can do pretty much anything. It wasn't quite HM2 buzzsaw, but it had like extra grit. And then we've just gotten like kind of crazier since we've updated. We started using the pitchfork, so doing octave down, pitchfork stuff with half step intervals to make the high notes sound crazy. When that half step pitchfork is on, this, I'm just playing one note, but it's already crazy. Wow. When you're playing crazy chords, like, that's disgusting. The suffocate breakdown. And you can't even define what this sounds like.
Gonna take a quick second to thank the people on Patreon. These people, you guys f***ing rule. Back to the video.
Wow, so you're using that octave trick that low.
Yes.
No wonder it sounds like
stupid, right?
Yeah,
but in a good way.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like, that's what our breakdowns will consist of, is like low guys right here, and then juxtaposing it with high dudes. So it's like, you know, it's doing everything.
Wow, I can't believe that you have that on the whole time, like that harmonizer with like the most disgusting harmony.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like, you would think like, oh, that's gonna sound messy, right? But that's the thing, is we want it to sound messy. It becomes less about the actual note and just more about creating a soundscape, layering so much. We actually do MIDI patch changes now, right?
And what does that mean?
Firing MIDI patch changes is basically, we're playing to a click track. It didn't always. Now we're playing to a click track. Instead of me clicking my patches manually, my patches go with the click track. So I no longer need to do any tap dancing. It's just doing them for me.
And so a big part of the different songs is just different wild effects.
Yeah, we'll turn the crazy chorus on and off within the part. Like, it'll be like
such a modern way of using effects where they're just going I'm just wrapping my head around that you're like, scales, whatever.
Yeah, no, literally.
Whatever.
I grew up kind of a theory dude.
I always thought growing up, I was like, theories for chumps.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, most people do. I grew up kind of a theory guy because I started out playing piano and shit.
Really?
You know, when it comes down to writing this style of music, like, okay, how can we make this sound like an alien? Or how can we make this sound like the devil?
And with those high noises, like, it's not even a key. Like, you could be here, you could be here, you could be here. And
and sometimes you're like, we'll do this guy.
Yeah, I hear that.
Guys, the super high guy. Half step intervals are like what's gonna give you like the grossest shit.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, a lot of people say that the tritone is the most dissonant, but I think the half, I think that's more.
On Suffocate, we'll do the straight 4.
My head around that you're not in drop.
Yep.
You're just using the fifths.
Yep. We go back and forth between G
and A.
And A. All the old stuff's in G, new stuff's in A. It also gave us some extra clarity. Like, G is real low.
G is really, really low. I think G is probably like, because you have a bass player that's playing an octave down.
Yes. F and even lower. It's like a lot of these bands will have bass in the same octave.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't hate on when bands do it, but I love having the octave below, right?
Especially in a live setting, like a lot of heavy music, that's kind of unfortunate about it, is it's so low, and when people listen like on a phone, you're missing a lot of the sound of clarity, but then you go to a concert with big speakers, and then the bass is like the star of the show. Yeah,
on the record and live, like, we have a wonderful front of house engineer, Matt. You got to view the guitars and bass as like a shape, right? So it's like, I like to put the guitars and EQ them right in the middle so that they're taking up all the mid-range, and the bass guitar is taking up both the subby low end and the high end around the guitars.
Isn't that funny how, like, a lot of people, once extended range guitars started becoming popular, oh, now the bass is becoming less important. But it's kind of the opposite.
No, it's the opposite.
Yeah,
it's the opposite. To me, having bass for a heavy band is still like super important to have someone up there playing it.
Because the more insane these get, the more these just turn into the snarl, and then the like note definition comes from the bass.
Exactly.
And you can feel it live.
You can feel it, and also when doing all of the crazy note stuff, like the breakdowns. When we're doing that, the bass sometimes will leave out the high guys and just syncopate on the low guys.
Boom, boom.
And that makes those high dudes way more insane, right? Because you get the juxtaposition, and then the kick drum is syncopating with the bass drum, right? And it makes it punch so hard. And that's why the bass is so important. Because if the bass was just copying everything the guitar was the whole time, it wouldn't be as cool.
It's like you got a guitar lesson when you were 8, and you're like, I'm gonna do the exact opposite of everything.
Yeah. My dad taught me how to play guitar.
Yeah.
And I did a couple lessons, and I got some good stuff out of it. I had way more fun, like, in my room, cranking it as loud as I can, just going. Like, it's just, I just had so much more fun doing that. That now my career is based around the different ways that I can do that. You're going all the, you got this high guy.
Yeah, you gotta have the 24th fret.
Yeah, you can go all the way up there. I can barely reach though.
Yeah. You guys are a hardcore band. Yeah. What is hardcore?
More of an ethos than it is a music genre. It's how someone carries themselves. Knock Loose musically is definitely leaned towards being a metal band. Straight horrorcore.
Yeah.
Scary, intimidating. There's a difference between the live show and the record, I think.
For sure.
We try to bring something to the live show that the records don't have.
Yeah. Do you worry about injury?
Do I worry about it?
Do you worry about people getting injured?
Yes, no, I do. We always pay attention to the crowd, and we stop anytime, and we direct attention to it, and we're like, hey, thank you guys for letting us know. It's up to the people in the
People
environment.
know what they're getting into.
Exactly. Yeah. Our singer says this a lot. He's like, I love a violent pit. He's like, I adore it. It's my best thing in the world. Like, hurt each other, all this stuff. He does believe that there always should be, like, a safe place for a person to watch.
This violence, this insanity, I feed off of it. Everybody up here, we feed off of it. But the last thing that we want is somebody getting hurt. So thank you so much for letting us know.
If anything, so that they can see the violence in
full. Dude, that's
from
what's
another place.
Let's write a Knock Loose for it. Let's write a breakdown. What's a breakdown? If I want to start a fight in a Walmart, what would I play?
I'm writing in my head right now.
Give you time.
Let's do that, right?
And I'm not even in the same key, and it's still like...
Here's the thing. You played just a different version of what I did, and that is literally the same shit. So you just wrote a Knock Loose break.
Yeah. Like, I came in expecting these, like, specific rules.
Yeah.
And it's not that at all.
No, it's not that at all.
It's just drive this
Anyone
insane.
Anyone can make it. That's sick. What symbol are you thinking for that?
China all day.
China all day.
And slow it down. And we're not even playing the same key. Yeah. I can see people fighting to that.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
And that's what it's about.
Tough guy rhythms.
I haven't used tough guy in a while because I feel like we're like less tough, more evil. Like now it's more about being like scary. We're trying to create like a soundscape that like actually people are like, man, this is like kind of uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be hearing this.
Like, is this okay?
I don't know.
Is it okay for me to be here?
It doesn't make sense that people would go to see this.
Yeah, like, am I committing a crime by being here? Am I witnessing a crime?
There you go.
Dude.
So sick.
That's it. That's Knock Loose.
That's actually cool.
And it's,
I'm not fucking with you. It's actually cool.
I appreciate it. We'll see once the YouTube comments get around.
This riff is trash.
This is trash. I mean, it's just trash. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yeah. Sometimes the simple shit. There you go.
You hear that is when everyone's gonna start fighting. Yeah.
That's the thing. If you know Knock Loose, you probably know Counting Worms. the 1.5 long song where the guy barks, right?
That's how I found your band. Jeff told me you have to check out Knock Loose, the vocalist barks.
There you go. Now they hear Counting Worms, and like Counting Worms kicks in, and people are like, yay! Like it's the bark song, right? But dude, when we made that song, before it came out, when we were playing like 100 cap rooms, right? As soon as that kicked in, dude, people were in danger. Like people would die. Now when we kick into Counting Worms, everyone's like, yay, happy fun time. Like, yeah, I saw a video of a dog running around to this, where it's like, I used to see people getting knocked out. I barely remember writing it and why I thought that would be a cool idea. And then it ended up being the TikTok track that it is now.
Yeah, you have such a unique take on guitar, and it caught on.
I appreciate all the kind words. I'm not doing anything like really that special or crazy or weird. It's just about trying to create things that you think are heavy and scary by yourself. And I inspire everyone to do it, you know, by themselves.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, Isaac Hale.
Awesome.
Go see Knock Loose. Bring a helmet.
Please do. Please do.
Thanks, dude.
Of course.
All right, they're getting us off the stage.